So several years back, I met a lady online, like most of us do, meet each other online, right? That I just knew. It was one of those kind of things that I heard her speak online, and I thought, I know you already, right? I've maybe known you for 100 years. So I loved her wisdom. I loved the way she talked. I loved the way she cared for her son, and I loved the way she cared for her family. So when we began planning this conference, I texted her and said, do you suppose you'd tell your story? So I'd like to present to you Stacie Al-Chokhachi.
Okay, can y'all hear me? Okay, I would like to first start off by thanking Pat and congratulating her for an amazing 25 years of giving hope to so many hopeless. I also want to make sure that I thank all of her incredible staff and her family, as I imagine that her husband Tom, her daughter Jennifer, and her daughter Michelle, this has come with great sacrifice. I'm sure that they have allowed their mother to be an intimate part of all of our journeys. And I know and I'm certain, gosh, why do I have to get emotional? That Christopher and Patrick are so very proud of their mama. So, as Pat said, my name is Stacie Al-Chokhachi. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I walk this journey with my best friend, who some days I pray for Jesus to let me love him, my husband. His name is David. And we have a 23-year-old daughter, Marissa, who in some of the photos, she actually put the slideshow together, so I'm certain she looks on point in every photo. As she just within the last, actually I think I told them to set it on a minute, so they'll change every minute for you. But you'll notice in some of the photos, there's a really handsome, tall gentleman, and that is her childhood sweetheart. They just got married in November of last year. And then, of course, we've got our delicious Dalton. Dalton is... he'll be 15 in August of this year. Dalton was diagnosed August 24th of 2010. And like many of you, that is a day that unfortunately is embedded in my heart, my mind, more than many dates that should be far more important. That is the day that life as I knew it halted. For several months shortly after the diagnosis, I honestly can't even remember how I was going to live, how I was going to find joy in the journey, how I was going to answer questions, how I was going to be the mother he needed, be the mother that Marissa needed, be the wife that my husband needed, be a friend, be a sister. I had no idea. But I can tell you that through his diagnosis, I am a far richer person than I've ever been. After that diagnosis, Dalton was 6 when he was diagnosed. He lost the ability to walk at the age of 9, which was really early. And it's kind of funny because every appointment we would go to see the neurologist, for some reason I found great hope in asking the neurologist, okay, compared to every boy that you've seen, where are we? Are we ahead of the game? Are we where we're supposed to be? Or are we falling too quickly? He was ahead of the game. And within 3 months, he rapidly lost the ability to walk. I will also interject here to tell any of you new families that that was something I was so afraid of. But I can tell you, those $33,000 wheels he rides in were one of the biggest gifts we've ever been given. He knew independence in those wheels that his little legs were never able to give him. So after his diagnosis, we have been through a very large number of kind of awkward things that I pray none of you have to go through. And if you do, just know that I'm here to stand and I've made it. But Dalton has been through multiple compression fractures. He, crazy enough, back in 2017 was diagnosed with pseudotumor cerebri, which translates to fake brain tumor. That was probably the sickest he had ever been, and after multiple spinal taps and spending Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's all in the hospital, and 5 months worth of passing 9 kidney stones in 13 weeks. No, I lied, 13 kidney stones in 9 weeks. He's the toughest frickin' rock star I've ever met in my life, and one of the happiest. So I've always been a woman of faith. I happen to be raised in a family. My grandfather was a Presbyterian pastor, and I understand that this room is filled with people from very various backgrounds, many ethically as well as ethnically, not ethically. I hope we don't have a problem with that. Although there are some science folks here, no offense to you. But we want we want non-ambulatory drugs. but as well as religiously, and I completely respect that, and everybody's journey is their own. But I hope today, with the things I'm going to tell you over the next few moments, you will be able to find something that I say and find either a greater peace, a greater hope, or greater joy through that. And they're just some things that I have fought very hard to keep in the forefront of my mind on this journey. As many of you will have your ebbs and flows, this journey is a hard one. I have hard days. I have days that I am pissed. And yes, I love Jesus, but I have a little bit of a potty mouth. And that's okay. I'm a hot mess. There are days that I don't want to talk. There are days that my sister's here and supporting me, and she's my best friend, but there are days I just won't answer the phone, and she loves me anyways. I'll also say that some of the greatest disappointments came in the very beginning with people that I thought, actually I didn't think, I knew they'd be on this journey with me, and they weren't. And I went through a bitter phase where I was angry and didn't understand, how in the world could you have been my friend? How could you have been my brother or sister in Jesus and you're gone? Like, you don't even check on me. My number's the same. And then finally one day God laid on my heart that He has to remove some relationships. Whether they've been good, bad, or ugly, they've served their purpose in their season. But He's had to make room for other relationships, for people that are strong enough to walk this journey with me, and not just religiously. Because I have many friends of different religions, but that they have been strong enough to walk through this journey with me. Many of them were complete strangers initially, and you will find that as well. Also, something is that men and women grieve very differently. And I can tell you there were quite a few tense moments in our household, probably the first 18 months. My husband kept telling me I wasn't praying hard enough. Isn't that cute? He's getting a wet willy by my son-in-law. But God loved David. He would say he didn't think I was praying hard enough. And I said, how dare you say that? God knows 100% that I would lay down my life today to heal my baby boy. But more importantly, I pray that no matter how short and expedited I have that little angel, that I give him a life full of confidence, peace, love, and joy. I'm always honest with him. I don't always give him the gory details. He's highly intelligent, and we have had many talks that I know many of you dread to have, probably even try to avoid. And I have too, but I've always answered his questions to the best of my ability, giving him at least enough information to where he knew I heard him. We, as parents, have so much ability to truly shape these little heroes into encompassing and embracing this very difficult journey. Life is hard for everyone. And if someone hasn't gone through trials, they've not been here long enough. It will happen. They may not compare, as far as humans like to compare things, to what we're walking through. And Satan knew that trying to take one of my babies away from me was absolutely the closest thing he could get to turning me away from God. But I won't let him. Look at him. I'm sorry. He's pretty delicious. As far as... Look, I'm doing this off the cuff, and I said I always just know what to say, and I'm not. But just know that you're not alone on this journey. We're all in it together. Facebook can be a blessing, but it can also be a curse. Don't be afraid to step away. You'll laugh at this. This is actually my very first conference ever. That was diagnosed in 2010, so it's been almost 9 years. And as crazy as it sounds, I really thought these were, please don't be offended by this statement because it's going to sound harsh. I kind of thought these were like a suicide fest. Like we were all going to come together and let's drink the Kool-Aid because this is horrible. But the fact is, my eyes, just within the first 12 hours of being here, I flew in on Tuesday, the love and compassion, not only that the Duchenne families and community have, but I've never been able to have one-on-ones with clinicians. I mean, I was speaking to a cardiologist earlier who I thought was just like my drinking buddy. And that's freaking amazing, you know? And then all of the drug reps, it's kind of like I had that complex that they were principals when you're a child in grade school, and they're like untouchable and unapproachable. And they've just been amazing. And I truly, truly have even more hope now because I've gotten to see the clinicians behind this, the scientists behind this, and the physician staff, this isn't just a job for them. They get it. They get our boys. And unfortunately, we live in a wicked, fallen world where money plays a very large role. But at the end of the day, we have to stick together. We have to use our voices. We're not all going to be, believe me, you will never see a nonprofit in my name because I have purple hair and discipline is not necessarily my strong point. But all of those rock star moms that have started nonprofits, such as the beautiful lady to my right, or left, your right, that's just not my gift, and it's okay. We all have a place in this puzzle. But stick together, don't lose hope, and know that at the end of the day, you will be a far richer person because of this disease. Thanks.